About time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill Hunted Mill. What's up to the About Time Boxing family and my Trill Hunted Mill gang? Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, who has been taking out the time to watch the videos and like the videos and leave the comments. Um, I sincerely, I honestly appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Excuse me. Become part of the About Time Boxing family and the Trill Hunted Mill gang. All right, Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Will that fight ever happen? I doubt it. I doubt that fight would ever happen now. And I'm gonna tell you why. And of course, I always want to know what y'all think. I want to know how y'all feel. I want to know what y'all opinions are. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Leave those comments. But here's why. Usually, when it's a fight of this magnitude, they don't usually get a last-minute replacement for a fight of this magnitude. Now, this is a big fight, because this was going to be Errol Spence's biggest payday. Not Manny's, but it's going to be Errol's biggest payday. So by them getting a last minute replacement, there's a few things that you can probably ponder, upon this, them getting Ugas to be a last minute replacement. Because you have some people that think that Errol Spence's eye injury is not legit. And you got some people that believe that it is. Now, some people believe that he cowered out of the fight. Like I said, me personally, I believe that the eye injury is legit, because I don't see Errol Spence backing out of a fight, especially a fight of this magnitude, and him having a chance to be able to prove that he can beat the best and be among the elite. He's always said, since he turned pro throughout his career, he said he was here to prove that, that he can fight the best and beat the best. That's what he said. He always wanted to prove that. So I don't see Errol Spence faking the eye injury to back out of this fight, especially since he went to, the report says he went to three different ophthalmologists, eye doctors, and all three of them told him he needed to get immediate surgery. So obviously he wasn't going to pass the dilated eye exam that every fighter has to get before a fight. He wasn't going to pass it. So if he went to three different doctors and they all said, nah, you need to get this surgery now. And some people say that by him getting this surgery right now, it may have saved his vision. But then you also have some people who say that, Spence is some people believe that he may be done. I've heard people talk about it. Bernard Hopkins, him saying that the eye injury is suspicious. I mean, come on, Bernard. You faked your way and faked injuries out of getting out of fighting, Chad Dawson. You oversold when you thought he threw you down and all that kind of stuff. You oversold that. But I just, some people, I don't know. But I would just think that, Bernard, him being, a consummate professional, and him being, in the fight game as long as he has been, I just figured that he would have a different point of view, as a fighter, you know what I mean? And him, I guess knowing Errol Spence and knowing the type of, fighter that he is. Like I said, for those who believe that he faked the injury, I disagree with you. I disagree with the opinion, but I respect your opinion. I respect it. I respect it, but I disagree with it. Like I said, I just don't see him, faking that. And they were saying that he had a small retinal tear. But the retinal tear was connected to the vitreous body, which is like the meat, the jelly part of the eye. And when you get the dilated eye exam, that's no different than people go to the doctor when, and I mean, I'm sure, many of y'all probably have been to the eye doctor when they dilate your pupils and you can't drive and they give you these dark shades to wear, till your, vision comes back clear. Well, when they put that fluid in your eyes to dilate your pupils, they use this machine so they can look behind your eyes to see if your retina is detached, bruised, torn, or anything like that. So if he went to 3 different doctors, then that means he more than likely had 3 different dilated eye exams and the results was the same. Now, to say that, I'm not trying to discredit, because there were reports that he didn't look good in camp. And some people say that the retinal tear may have happened during this camp because he wasn't looking good. Now, some people say too that he looked like drained. Some people was concerned about his speech. They were saying like his speech was like kind of slurred. So there's a few different things, you know what I mean? So, and the reason why I say I disagree with the people who say he faked it, but I respect it, because, okay, I can see them, I can see, your point of view, feeling like, all right, he didn't look good, so which means he wasn't really going to be ready for this camp, and Manny probably would have dominated him. So to buy him more time, come up with the eye injury, let him heal up from whatever, because something is wrong. Either way, something is wrong with him, with Errol Spence. That's a fact. Something is wrong with him. And like I said, I personally believe that the eye injury is legit. But again, there were reports that he did not look all too good in camp. So, and it, and he looked like drained, and again, like the thing with his speech. So this is why I look at it like, for them not to postpone the fight and put it off and set it for a later date and bring in Ugas as a last minute replacement, I think this is Pacquiao, way, because Pacquiao's with PBC too, but I think this is their way, Pacquiao's team way of saying like, okay, we tried to make the fight happen with you, we tried, but you got injured, so we just gonna move on from it, because they give Ugas the fight, and then after that, because what if Pacquiao don't want to fight him now? After Errol Spence heal up, and if he can get himself, back to 100%, and he start calling out Pacquiao again, what if Pacquiao decide like, nah, well, we tried to make the fight happen, remember, you got hurt, and you had to get the surgery, so I had to move on. Because if Pacquiao and his team really wanted to fight that fight, I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all agree, or do y'all disagree? Like, if they really wanted that fight with Spence, they wouldn't have gotten a last minute sub. Fight is 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks away, or 2 weeks, or a little less, or 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks away, and they bring in Ugas as a last minute replacement. Is that an insult to Errol Spence? Is it? By bringing in Ugas? By them not postponing the fight and setting it for a later date? Is that an insult or disrespect to Errol Spence? Is that PBC, or maybe even Al Heyman, is that their way of saying like, all right, well, Spence, you called for the Pacquiao fight, we tried to give it to you, you got hurt, so hey, all right, we got to move on from that. So, and if Manny decides that he doesn't want to fight Errol Spence again, what does Spence do? Where does he go from there? Because me personally, I think he goes up to 154. I don't see him staying at 47 and fighting Virgil Ortiz, Terrence Crawford, or Jaron Ennis. What are you going to do? Rematch Danny Garcia? That's not going to happen. He going to rematch Sean Porter? That's not going to happen. Because everybody, still say the closest you get to a blueprint of beating Spence is the Sean Porter fight. And who else is he going to fight? Lower level opposition? Van Heerden, Delorme, Kavalaskis, Lipinets. Who is he going to fight? I just don't see that. I just don't see, if Manny chooses not to fight Errol Spence after Spence heals up, and he may try, because I believe he's going to try to get the fight. But me personally, in the distant or near future, I don't see that fight happening. I think that's it. Like Manny, they tried to make it happen. Spence got hurt. They done with it. They moved on from that. And again, I believe this is why they've shown it by bringing in Ugas and not saying, well, all right, we're going to put the fight off. Let him take his time, heal up, and I don't know, too, if they just moved on because they like, well, we don't know how long it's going to take the eye to heal or what. I have no, but I want to know what you guys think. What do y'all think? Seriously. Do y'all think that this is it? Like Pacquiao and Spence is never going to happen? And do you think they shown that by bringing in Ugas? But Ugas don't deserve the shot against Pacquiao. I know some of y'all, disagree with that, but undeserving Ugas. He got the fight. And I think Pacquiao's going to dominate Ugas. I think he's going to dominate him in every facet of the fight. And I don't believe Ugas is going to be in the fight at all. So don't be surprised if Manny even stopped this guy. Because he's capable of doing it. If he hurt him, he'll stop him. If he hurt Ugas, they gonna stop that fight. If he hurt him, Pacquiao gonna turn it up on him. That's what I believe. I don't believe Ugas is, and then I know some people saying, oh, well, he taking the fight on, 2 weeks notice, blah, blah, blah. And again, short notice. A fight of this magnitude. This is not no, this is not no C-class, lower level opposition, guys with names, and it's not that. And why didn't they give Terrence Crawford the fight? Why did they give it to Ugas and not to Terrence Crawford? Because I read in a few different articles that, okay, both Manny and Ugas is supposed to be the WBA champion. One is supposed to be the WBA champion in hiatus, and then one is supposed to be the current, or whatever the case is. But Ugas just been babysitting that belt, not trying to come up off of it. WBA won't rank Jaron Ennis so he can stretch Ugas and take that belt. I mean, he should be ranked in the top 4. But instead they got Gabriel Mastre ranked number 4 in line for a shot at the WBA welterweight title. 4-0 with 3 knockouts. He's ranked number 4 in line for a shot. So what, when he's 6-0? Like, see, this is the thing, what I mean about these guys having less fights and getting these title shots. And Boots almost got 30 fights. He got over a 90% knockout ratio. And they won't even rank him? And they bring in Yordenis Ugas as a last-minute replacement for Pacquiao? Spence, listen, dude. I wish you a successful, a fast and speedy recovery, but I think this is the end of the line for you as far as the Pacquiao fight. I think Pacquiao just done with it. They tried to make it happen. You got injured, so you can call him out again, but I just don't see that fight happening, because if he can't fight Pacquiao at 47, he's not going to want to fight. Errol Spence is not going to want to fight nobody else. I don't see it. I don't see him fighting Boots. He's not going to fight Jaron Ennis. He not. He's not going to fight Jaron Ennis. He's not going to fight Virgil Ortiz. And he's not going to go backwards and fight lower level opposition, and he's not going to rematch. He's not going to give Keith Thurman the fight. We know that. Thurman is not getting the fight. And he's not going to rematch Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, you know what I mean, or even Kell Brook or none. He's not going to fight any of them guys. And remember now, Jaron Ennis is ranked number 4 with the IBF, and he's supposed to be fighting in September. So he win this fight in September. Where does that move him at in the rankings? Is he going to move up to number 2, or will he become the mandatory for the IBF belt? I see Spence vacating and going up to 54. Or he even talked about fighting Canelo. But, if that fight ever were to happen, it would definitely have to be at a catch weight. It would have to be at a catch weight. But, like I said, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, leave the comments, man. What do y'all think? Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. Will it happen? Will it ever happen in the near or distant future? How do y'all see it? How do y'all see this thing playing out? I know how some of y'all feel about the eye injury. For those who think it's not legit, I understand, I respect, and I see your point of view. And for those of us who believe that it's legit, we already know. But do y'all think that this was like a slap in the face or insult to Errol Spence by them bringing Ugas in? Do you think this was Team Pacquiao's way of saying, like, okay, Errol, look, we finished, dude. We tried to make it happen, bro. So, but we gonna move on, and then you gotta move on. We wish you all the best. Do y'all think that that's what's happening? Let me know. Smash that like button. Pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Encourage others to subscribe to the channel. And leave the comments. Don't forget, leave those comments. I really want to know what y'all think. I want to hear your point of views. Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao. Distant or near future? Will it ever happen?